And welcome to round 10 of the HART Sapphire Series competition this week against the Carina League's Tigers and the Bond University Bull Sharks, where I'm joined here this afternoon with Dominique Day. Hello, Dommy. How you going?
Hey, Sam. I'm going great. Looking forward to this game.
I know. Big game today, 3 versus 4. So both teams trying to cement that fourth position on the ladder, obviously, as we get closer to finals. We're here at the Queensland State Netball Centre. There's lots of people around, so it's kind of good.
Yeah, hopefully the vibe picks up, obviously, each team. Obviously, Bond University having to come down, up from the Gold Coast. They normally pack out few of the seats with their supporters, and obviously Carina Leagues always have a great supporter network around them as well. So really looking forward to this game. And, yeah, like you said, Sim, quite important for both teams to secure those top 4 positions.
Definitely. So we know that with the positions here on the table, so like we said, it's the Bond is sitting in at 4th at the moment, but the Tigers are very close, only 3 points behind in 5th position. So this game definitely will not only just cement potentially 4th, but either team may have an opportunity to jump into 3rd, depending on how they score with bonus points and the result.
Yeah, and we saw last week, I think QT Wildcats got all bonus points over the Northern Rays, so that jumped their position up. So as we look at some of the starting positions here, I believe we're starting off with the Bull Sharks. So we're goal shooter, Siggy Berger, goal attack, Lisa Puer, wing attack, Ava Black, centre, Jada Gaffer, wing defence and captain, Kristen Oxenford, goal defence, Jonte Stratum, goalkeeper, Shanae Grant, subs, Abigail Houston, Peter Coles and Olivia Dykstra, coached by Cheryl Burns.
Great, and as we look to see the Carina Leagues Club team list in a few minutes coming up.
You're putting it out there.
I know, I'm waiting in anticipation. And
Here we go, drum roll.
So in shooter, we have Somerville with Baker at goal attack, Alana Schuster and Katie Walker in the middle, with Claire Haig back at wing defence, Leah Middleton and Chanel Gomez rounding off that defensive line in the circle for the Tigers this afternoon, with Lily Gribble, Madison Cooley and Maddie Grant on the bench, coached by the ever-reliable Tracy Bruce.
Yo.
What do you think the key matchups are today, Dommy, as we look to the teams waiting for the first centre pass?
I think we can look at straight down the middle between, obviously, Katie Walker and Kristen Oxenford, the 2 generals of the team, obviously both captains. That's going to be my, I guess, pick of the bunch. What about you, Simi?
Yeah, no, I definitely think that matchup is going to be really key. They'll probably cancel each other out in some ways, but in a good way, because they're both so dominant and they both obviously control their team. I think also the both shooting lines, I think they're going to really determine. Obviously, you need to shoot to score to win, but we've got the new combination of Puer and Berger back for Bond, and then we've got the experienced combination of Somerville and Baker. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing. It's almost like the young'uns in the Bull Sharks versus the kind of season campaigners.
Oh, season campaigners. I like that
Tigers.
Word. I'm going to call them old. I'll say it. I'm not afraid.
No.
I think it's the battle of the shooters as well. So Somerville and Siggy Berger are shooting high percentage, 90%, for both teams. So obviously it's going to be a battle of the 2 shooters, I reckon.
Yeah.
And obviously looking at the defensive line of the Tigers, really experienced with Middleton and Gomez, and against obviously an international star in Berger, it's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely. So we see the Bull Sharks unable to score from that last opportunity. So the Tigers are back in control here, but they're being asked to work really hard by the Bull Sharks to work this ball around.
And we'll just give a shout out to the umpires for today. We have Claire Johnston and Jess Lakeman, with Amber Lawrence on the reserve.
Oh, so the Tigers cough up possession there on their centre pass. So the Sharks will be looking to score from this opportunity to kind of win back that last centre pass that they were. It's a commentator's curse, right? Every time.
What stat is that, Simi? Throw you under the bus.
That is the turnover stat, Dominique, and it's the turnover conversion.
Yes, it.
So we looked at actually the Bull Sharks started a little bit differently than what we were expecting with Jada Gaffer on wing attack and Peter Coles on at wing defence. I was talking to Cheryl Burns before the game. I ran into her as we do here at the State Netball Centre. But she was saying that the Bull Sharks have been struck with some sickness, definitely not wanting to use that as an excuse. But obviously at this time of year, that is a reality for many, not just teams, but people.
Yeah.
You would know being a paramedic, Dom.
Yes.
I'm sure
Flu season is in high demand at the moment. And if you could see me, I've got bags straight under my eyes from that. But, yeah, very excited for this game. So, obviously, Bull Sharks taking just a 1-point lead early in this first quarter. I think it's going to be hotly contested throughout the game. So, obviously, we spoke about the bonus points being pretty pivotal. You obviously get 2 bonus points for the win of the quarter. If, obviously, both teams are drawn at the end of the quarter, they get 1 point each. That was a great drive there by Jada Gaffer. Just wasn't given the ball.
Yeah, it was unlucky that Berger missed her because she would have got her right on the circle's edge. But
Yeah.
now they've had to work it around a lot more.
Yeah, and just Pure just stepped into the hands of Leah Middleton. Just give her a heads up. Probably not the best thing to do. Leah has one of the longest stretch, I guess, in probably the competition. So, yeah, Pure just needs to keep both feet on the ground and get that ball up nice and early to get around the hands of Leah there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
great save.
Yeah.
Oh, unlucky to Katie Walker.
The Sharks have done a great job these last 2 attacking plays by the Tigers in that they've really forced pressure and, not won the ball cleanly in their hand, but they've applied enough pressure to force the Tigers to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, that's just as valuable, but we've
replay.
potentially don't always give that credit.
Sorry, Sam, I can't help myself.
No, it was a replay. No, you really are. And there again.
Oh.
The Sharks are doing a fantastic job in creating that pressure. They've just got to award themselves by taking it to goal and scoring. Because a team like the Tigers, with their experience and, they'll more than work their way back if they're given an opportunity.
Yep. And just like that, obviously, Sharks have pulled out to a 4-point lead in a blink of an eye. So really, obviously, dominant first quarter by the Sharks.
Great drive by there, by Chrissy Oxenford.
I was just going to say the attacking lane looks like they have so much room and time to move about. So obviously the outcourt out of the circle defence end in Claire Haig and Katie Walker need to lift a little bit and just stick on their player a little bit more.
Definitely. So we see a tactical timeout there called by the Tigers. Katie Walker, captain for the Tigers, indicating to the umpires that she'd like to take a break and have a chat with her team. Obviously with the score 7-2, they do not want to let it jump away anymore.
Yeah. And it's smart by her as well. They definitely needed to call that timeout. So we're looking at the, obviously, Bond University Bull Sharks here. Cheryl Burns is taking control of her team and giving some instructions there. So, Simi, what would you be saying to your team if you're up by 5 at this stage?
Yeah, look, I think they just need to keep doing what they're doing. I think they've, done a great job in forcing the Tigers to create those turnovers, but it only counts really if they put it to goal. So they've got to work just as hard in attack, which they have been doing absolutely, but just not give the Tigers a sniff because they will, take every opportunity that they can to draw or claw the lead back. I think the Tigers, on the other hand, they'd be probably kicking themselves a little bit because it has been through their own error.
Yes.
But you can't discount the pressure that the Bull Sharks have applied. So it'll be interesting to see which team comes out best because from this timeout, because the Bull Sharks definitely had the momentum. Yeah.
It's always hard to come out of a tactical timeout by both teams. Sometimes, obviously, with the momentum, you don't want to stop that run. So it's going to be hard for obviously Bond as well as Tigers in this little passage of play, I guess. But they just need to be patient like they are with the ball, and that was a great fake there by Katie Walker and great pass across the circle's edge by Schuster. Somerville looks ever so calm and just strutting her stuff. She's got a bit of strapping on that left knee, so might have pulled up a little bit gingerly from last week.
Yes, definitely. We see that there's been a change actually in the Tigers' defensive line with Chanel Gomez going to the bench and Lily Gribble coming on at goalkeeper. Lily Gribble, a great young talent here in Queensland, played for the 17s this year, the Queensland 17s, and was TID'd, and probably Tracy Bruce just wants to change it up a little bit and see what the youngster can bring.
Yeah, and obviously Siggy is probably taking the majority of their shots, so I believe that she is 6 from 7 at the moment, and Leah Pure is just 2 from 3. So obviously, yeah, like you said, Sim, Tracy just wants to change it up in there, and obviously a really good test. Oh, well done to Leah Middleton there. Got an intercept or a tip and was able to regain the possession there.
Yeah, definitely. Poor old Chrissy Oxenford didn't have a lot of options. Everyone had run away from her, but...
Good old throw and hope.
Yeah.
Shut their eyes.
Shut their eyes and hope for the best. Great touch there by Shanae Grant. An unlucky contact call there. Oh, no, it wasn't on her. It was on Balls, the wing defender around the edge.
Just on the arm there by Stridham on Baker. Baker will line up again and unfortunately just doesn't convert that one. And a throw into the Bull Sharks.
Great work there by Shanae Grant. She just disrupted enough to make Amy Somerville be the last one to touch it. So it just shows that the ball's not dead until it's dead, really, isn't it? So
with the shooters having long arms, they can get to anything.
Great pick up there by Katie Walker. Peter Coles wasn't able to control it, and Walker just came through and snatched it away from her. So this is what we were talking about, isn't it, Dom? The Tigers were down by 5, and in saying that, I've just they were down, and they were, had the ability just to snip it back. But Stridham did a great job. She read that beautifully and contested really hard on that ball. Yeah, and was able to force the turnover.
Baker was just a little bit stationary, stopped on the ball, and obviously Stridham came nice and hard through it as well. So obviously. Lexi Baker won't do that again. She'll know that Stridham's right on her hip and she has to go through the ball instead of stopping. So 6 and a bit to go. Still Bond University leading by 4 here at the State Netball Centre. Great touch there by Baker. Unfortunately wasn't able to tip it to her team.
No, not at all. And it was a great feed there by Leah Puer. She had lots of faith in Siggy Berger. It wasn't an easy take, and she wasn't on a great angle, but she threaded it through and got it there. So that's always a great sign of a team that's got lots of confidence when they're willing to kind of let those, potentially high-risk passes go, but they pull them off, and I think, that only adds to their confidence.
Yeah, and we look at some of the stats. The Carina League's Tigers centre pass conversion rate's down at 50%. So if they increase that by only, say, a handful of percentage there, obviously this margin will get nice and close again. So hopefully they can do that through the hands of, obviously, Katie Walker starting them off. So she's looking to she's getting a little bit comfortable in this game. Obviously not that pass. Once again, commentator's curse.
No, and not only are the Bull Sharks scrapping really well, that they've been nice and controlled down this attack hand, which has been really nice to see. Leah Pure, her decision-making on those feeds have been really good. At times, she has been guilty of being quite, she's been quite predictable, but it seems that, she's been working on that really well, and she's been beautifully.
Yeah, and obviously she's played with Dijkstra for most of the season while Siggy Berger was over in World Cup. So she's had a tall shooter to, practice with. And now she gets probably even taller shooter in Siggy Berger, obviously, being that dominant shooter. So she really needs to take charge of that goal attack role and add a little bit more dynamic to her game. Like you said, Simi, a little bit too predictable at times, and obviously change it up Great shooter-to-shooter pass there by Baker to Somerville.
It was a great finish by the Tigers in the end, but geez, the Bull Sharks made them work for that goal. There was probably 3 or 4 passes across the, from pocket to pocket by the Tigers there. Great vision there by Chrissy Oxenford. Just wasn't able to get enough power behind that pass.
Just needed to go in front of where Puer was going instead of obviously where she was.
Oh, Berger. Yes, it was a contact.
Leah Middleton
pleaded with the umpire
for the umpire.
And
the umpire obviously deemed that, yes, it was offensive contact by Siggy there. Just backing into her player. Oh.
Great contest there by Grant. She's making it really tough for Somerville.
Yeah. Quite a new, obviously, defensive end for the Bull Sharks as well. Stratum, obviously, coming into the team, adds an element of, athleticism there. She's obviously one of the most, probably the fittest player that we have in the competition at the moment, just with her yo-yo results. If I am wrong, feel free to correct me with teams, but I know that she did quite well in the yo-yo.
19-2, I believe.
Yeah, and that's, something not a lot of players get.
No, not at all. So just gives her that ability to keep working really hard at a high rate. And when you've got someone like Lexi Baker, who is a hard worker as well, it just means she's going to work her for the whole game.
Yep.
Great shot there by Amy Somerville.
And obviously Stratum doesn't have to turn to the post and shoot the goal, so Lexi Baker's got her work cut out for her today, but I'm sure she's up to the task.
Yeah, definitely.
And Gomez is back on, straight back into the action.
Straight back in.
Throwing heaps of chat, which is good to see. That's what we want from a goalkeeper. They've got the eyes at the back there, so throwing heaps of chat is part of their role, I guess.
Yeah, well, she can see everything that's happening in front.
Yeah.
The important element of that, obviously, Domi, is for her mates to hear. Great touch again and disrupt by Grant.
That was awesome. Sneaky little fingertip in the side there.
Just
and
put a little hand in the cookie jar and was rewarded.
Somerville looked at her hands and didn't see the ball, so a little bit disappointed. So a minute and a bit to go. Bond University Bull Sharks, I'm not to call it early. I'm not to say they have the bonus point. What do you reckon, Sim?
Well, look, I think we may have called it prematurely last time we were together, but I do not believe that with the time remaining.
You never know.
Even with Katie Walker in the team, I still don't think the Tigers can come back and win this quarter, but hey, happy to be proven wrong. It's happened so often.
Hail Mary down from the centre pass. Oh, replay there.
Replayed in almost a step. Stratum just needed to take her feet to the ball, but probably wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
Send it in, Tigers.
Yeah, look.
If they come back, well done, Lexi. Knew that if she picked that up, she would be called for a replay ball, so just left it for Katie Walker to pick up the scraps. Here we go. They're coming back. Minute and a bit to go.
7 goals to score.
Easy. 7's not too bad.
Oh, great cover there on the base. Yeah. Stratum. Unlucky to be pulled for that.
A little bit soft on the call. Like to see that let go. Just my
humble opinion.
My opinion, yeah, of course. Like I keep on saying to the people, I'm not out on the court. It's harder on court with the umpires and the players. So
that was a great take by Berger. She had nowhere. She just had to kind of guess where that ball was coming from and had to contend with not only her player but also the baseline. The ball must be slippery, I'm going to call it, because for 3 almost replayed balls in a row, with this calibre of athletes, I don't believe it's because of their poor ball handling skills.
Oh, we have a advance call. Oh.
Bit of frustration here being expressed by the Tigers, potentially. For why the advances.
Unless Leah Middleton contacted all that way up the court, which
when she wasn't there.
Sometimes she does. Gets a
you
little
did
bit.
Say she had such long reach.
I did, and she does bear hug a lot of people.
Oh.
What are we doing?
Oh, so
Set the
Berger
penalty.
asked to be.
And
and that goal counts because it was
count.
on a penalty. Well done there to the Bond Bull Sharks. They have taken the first quarter out 19-10. What a big scoring quarter.
That was
29 goals in one quarter of 15
Very
minutes.
exciting as well. That maths, your maths is great.
I know, it's not a hard equation.
I don't know.
Great. So we go into the second break. I'm sure the Tigers coaching staff are going to have lots of instruction to their team in what needs to be done. So we're going to take a short break and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back to the second quarter of Game 2 of the HART Sapphire Series Round 10 game this afternoon.
Blah, 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 blah.
I know, all of the details all in one
details.
sentence. But we have the Carina Leagues Club Tigers up against the Bond University Bull Sharks. The Bull Sharks really blew the Tigers out of the water in that first quarter with a 19-10.
Well, since they're Bull Sharks, they did blow them out of the water.
Taking the bite out of there.
Ding ding. That's Simmy's joke for the day.
I will always.
Everyone enjoy that because that was great.
But we see some lots of changes on this Tigers line as we come back into the second quarter.
Stratum.
Reed
That's so unlucky.
That was really unlucky. But well played there by the Tigers. Claire Haig, we see, has moved into centre with Katie Walker onto the wing attack with Madison Cooley on at wing defence and Lily Gribble back at keeper. So
we've had a shake-up.
Tracy Bruce not afraid to go to her bench, and good on her, and she probably needed to.
Well done, Leah.
And so far they're repaying her with her decision so far.
Yeah. Early in the quarter, obviously. They're only... I believe Lexi Baker's heel was just out of court there. So, yeah, a bit of a shake-up. Hopefully that kind of kicks a little bit of bite back into their team. I'm stealing your jokes now. So, yeah, obviously with that passage of play was quite, here we go. Quite good from the Tigers. Unfortunately, Baker just out of court up the other end. So, but we'll have another crack at here and see what they can do.
Well done by Sinead Grant.
She has other ideas.
Yeah, she is not wanting to play that game. She would like to keep the ball in
firmly
her team's
down
position
the other end
and ask her attackers to score.
That's a great feed by Chrissy Oxenford.
Yeah, it was wonderful. She had great vision and saw the second option.
That was beautiful. Textbook intercept there by Grant. All you young defenders out there, have a look at that and see if you can do
try
it
that at home.
Yeah, try it at home. I think that's safe enough to say. A few of the, obviously, local associations around the state, obviously, getting into finals. So good luck to all the teams. Mostly, I think back in my day, only a couple of years ago, we used to play on, obviously, Saturday afternoon. So it was great, and obviously on the hard bitumen. That's why they say the netball knees are not the best, but not in a wheelchair just yet. No. Some days.
No, we're very lucky to have this stadium here at Mount Gravatt. Or Nathan, depending on which...
yeah. If you're local, you call it Mount Gravatt.
Yeah, totally. But very lucky to have all of these wonderful courts here to play. Not just this league, the QPL, Queensland Premier League, and all the other matches that get played here. So,
yep. Tuesday night, I know they do a social night on Tuesday night. Had to come out here for a job when it was freshly brand new, the stadium, and I was just in awe of it. I think I had to pick up my jaw from the ground going to the patient. Yes. But yeah, it's a beautiful stadium, and obviously well done to Netball Queensland. It's been a lot of years in the making, I believe, obviously, to get a premier stadium that we can play at. And obviously dedicated to mostly just netball as well. Now that we have basketball, obviously, joining the party.
And volleyball.
As well. Yep.
We're quite happy to have friends, right? But we just love that we have our own home.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, great pass there again by Chrissy Oxenford. She's feeding Siggy Berger quite well today.
Yeah, definitely. And Berger, to her credit, is taking every ball that's been given to her. She's putting her body on the line and showing tremendous balance, particularly with that last take that she had. But other ones before, she's really controlled and balanced on her landing, which is, fantastic.
Katie Walker's come into this game. This is probably the best game she's had so far during this competition. Obviously, she's a world-class athlete, but it seems like she's got a bit of fire in her belly. I think with obviously playing 5 versus 4, she wants her team to get up over the Bull Sharks, and with what you said, Sim, 3 points in it in the ladder as well. So they're obviously quite hungry to take this win. Oh,
wonderful ball there by Claire Haig. Great vision and
snaps for Claire Haig. Great
Definitely.
vision.
We see Abby Houston come to the court at goal defence for the Bull Sharks. Another great young talent. Great that the Bull Sharks have, well, both teams really have the opportunity to go to their bench and are not afraid to do that.
Yeah, and with the rolling subs as well. Obviously, that's been brought in just this competition here, first year of it. So we're looking at, obviously, some teams are utilising it a little bit more than other teams. How have you seen it, Simi? Do you like it, or fan or not a fan?
No, I'm a total fan of the rolling subs. I think it provides a great opportunity for the coaches to change momentum, both in attack or defence, obviously, depending on which way they want to do it. It's actually, having experienced it with the Fusion on the A&L court this year, it's actually quite challenging. It's not always as easy as just kind of swapping the bib. You're really trying to read what's happening and where you think the change might be and what's required. So, the coaches have got their kind of work cut out for them when they do make those changes.
Yep. Yeah. I obviously haven't played with the rolling subs. I was a bit too late to the party, so from an outsider perspective, I think it can be utilised a little bit better by teams. Obviously, teams are a little getting used to it still, so looking forward to maybe a season and a bit in time, obviously, to see if it is obviously utilised a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think, the other thing that this competition has, which the Australian Netball League didn't have, is the use of the tactical timeouts.
Yeah,
so I think...
now, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, definitely. But having both, I think, is quite interesting. I've had experience with both either the tactical timeout or the rolling subs, but to have both kind of... the ability to apply both, I think, would be another element again, because it is really trying to. I mean, obviously the coach's job is to read the game and try and make the change, but you tend to have 3 opportunities to do that at a quarter time, whereas this gives you the opportunity to do it throughout the game. So
yeah, and obviously from a player's perspective, I guess you've got to be ready at all stages of the game. You can't think that you're on the bench for the whole time with obviously the rolling subs and the tactical timeout. So it would be quite hard as a player, obviously having to warm up every so often. We used to obviously warm up every couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Used to timing out.
you certainly do take a you kind of do feel like you've played because you've had to warm up throughout the whole game.
Yeah. And obviously, cheering on the bench is
it is quite exhausting as well.
Yeah, exhausting part of the game.
Great shot there by Leah Poir, and Siggy Berger goes up and congratulates her, because it's great to see both Poir and Baker going to the post. Obviously, both Somerville and Berger are the dominant shooters for their side, but by having the goal attack take those shots, it just, one, makes them less predictable, but also takes the pressure off those shooters so that they don't feel like they are the only one that that has to absolutely score the goal. So I think Berger really showed her appreciation there to Poir for actually making that shot. Yeah.
With the change that the Tigers have made, I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, Katie Walker in at wing attack gives her a little bit more opportunity to have a look and chat to her team. Obviously, in centre, it is a little bit harder to talk to your team while you're obviously running up and down the court. So she's doing quite well, encouraging her teammates, and her gameplay's lifted a little bit. Heavy fall by Somerville. She'll dust herself off.
Yeah, and it was a heavy collision, but
no
Houston
malice
had eyes for the ball.
Yep.
I think by Katie Walker moving back to wing attack, it's allowed the Tigers to organise their attack end a little bit more.
Yep.
They do look a lot more structured and controlled, and that's probably why they've been able to bring the lead back, and they've just turned the ball over again. So
yeah, they're coming back to it, which is good to see. We see obviously Ava Black coming on at wing attack for the Bull Sharks. Jada Gaffer just having a small break, and we have a tactical timeout called by the Bond University Bull Sharks. So 90 seconds here to regroup. They obviously felt that the Tigers were coming back at them, so wanted to take a break.
Yeah, definitely. And given that the Tigers are leading this quarter 11-7, I think it's a timely opportunity. There's
smiles galore.
Yeah, lots of smiles,
Trace.
and the body language is quite interesting between. Before the previous timeout was almost a mirror.
Yeah. Had a lot of serious conversations going on, and now a lot of chats, but a lot of light-hearted chats, I guess.
Definitely positive. You can see the
positivity is radiating off them. Where obviously the Bond University Bull Sharks are a little bit more serious than obviously down the other end. We'll see obviously who comes out of this break on top. So they look a little bit, I guess, starstruck, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think they need to remind themselves they're actually still up on the
the
scoreboard that matters, which is the official one. They're up by 5. Yes, they may be losing this quarter, but it's not really been anything.
Nothing to freak out over.
Yeah, there's been no major, just a few handling errors. That's been created. I think the changes that Tracy Bruce made with this Tigers line definitely have made an impact. And just the reshuffle. Sometimes it's easier when you get an opportunity to watch for a little while and then come on and you kind of understand what the opposition is doing and can sort of think about those things that you need to do individually or in your unit to help make a difference. Great feed there.
That was perfect. Well weighted by Lexi Baker there, just into the space of obviously Amy Somerville. And Jada Gaffer's back on court, so a quick changeover. Obviously, she just needed maybe a breather and a break. bit of a sip of water and then back on court.
Yeah, just a little look to have a great feed and even better take by Berger there.
Yeah.
She's taking the ball under lots of pressure, particularly balls like that, but from Prayer. But hey, they're coming off, so
they are.
Power to them.
So Tigers having another crack at that attacking, obviously, passage of play. Jada Gaffer steals the ball.
Steals the cookies that time from the cookie jar.
Just
came through.
Jump up right in the right position.
Yeah, great drive there to the edge of the circle. The feed is, great chase by Berger. That's exactly what you want to see. And that's the kind of thing that can lift a team that were maybe feeling a little bit down with a fantastic feed there by your captain.
Yeah.
They're those little moments that can just sway the momentum back in your favour. Leah Middleton not looking that impressed there with the way she dropped the ball. Fair enough. I think they've done everything they possibly can, the poor Tigers. I mean, the game's still so there's nothing in it. There's plenty of time to go. Great take there by Madison Cooley.
I was going to say about Leah Middleton, she used to get very, very upset if I dropped the ball like she just did. So for her to do it back to someone is a little bit, I guess, hypocritical. But she's learned.
Take it up with her later.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful feed there by Leah Poyer. Stepped around, did what you asked her before.
Stepped around, that's the one. She didn't step into the body.
Yes.
Stepped into the space. So really great feed there by Puer. Just a little bit too much on that pass, but obviously look who picks up the scrum, the scrap, sorry, not the scrum. We don't have scrums in netball.
Not this Tigers team, maybe the rugby league team.
Maybe. Well, the Richmond Tigers are playing the Lions today down in MCG, so I was out at Bridge to Brisbane this morning, and a lot of people are up and about the Lions, so really good to see. And then obviously the Lightning being minor premiers, so probably a sore spot for this side of town with obviously the Firebirds. But congratulations to obviously Knowles in that Lightning team to take the minor premiers.
Yeah, fantastic result for them. So we'll have a home final this coming week.
Yeah, and obviously Kylie being a coach for Netball Queensland for so many years is taking the reins over Lightning for next year as well, with Arnie Knowles moving back to across the ditch. So it'd be sad to see her go, but congratulations to obviously Kylie. She's been around netball for a long time in Queensland, so congratulations to her.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously Clemmy as well as Katie Nevins announcing their retirement as well, so sad to see them go.
Yeah, look, definitely sad to see both of them go, but both have had cracking careers for the Queensland Firebirds. Laura Clemishia, a Queensland junior, originally from Toowoomba, so fantastic to see and to be kind of part of that very small part of her journey, but also to watch it go full circle from, the tall, lanky kid that arrived from Toowoomba to, the wonderful lady that she's become, and having spent 6 years at the Firebirds. It's something I know she didn't ever think would happen, but shows what hard work and dedication can do. Great
shot there by Baker. Yeah, so obviously way back in Clemmy's career, I did play against her in the Vicky Wilson Cup team final as well. So she played for Fairholme College from Toowoomba, and obviously we had a couple of people in our Sandgate team. Yes. Sandgate for life, Simi, you and me. And obviously we had Steph Wood being our goal attack as well. So great to see, obviously, people moving through the ranks and doing so well.
Definitely. So we see here with about 20 seconds to go, the ball has changed possession on a number of occasions, and Leah Poyer didn't really look comfortable on that shot ever. And good on her for backing herself, but she probably just needed to show confidence.
Yeah. 6 seconds to go. Oh, early mark.
Time call there. So the Tigers take the Lollies in that quarter, winning the quarter 16-11 and reducing the margin to only 4. So the Bond University Bullsharks go into half-time 4 goals ahead. The changes that the Tigers made at that tactical timeout definitely made a difference, Dom.
Yeah. So obviously Tracy Bruce being the master in that. She did pull a few girls obviously into different positions. So I think she's been obviously rewarded in the halftime score here.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, a point that you made early in the commentary was that the Tigers are only converting their centre passes at 50%, so only scoring half the ball that they got off a centre pass, whereas that stat jumped to 93% in that quarter compared to the Bull Sharks 71%. So I think that...
I could be a coach.
Definitely.
I didn't do anything. I just said the stat.
Definitely a difference. Yes, it's a bit more than stat reading, dummy, but hey, it's the
I
first
can do that. Makes it easy.
But as we go into half-time here with the Bull Sharks still leading on the official scoreboard by 4, probably need to do a little bit more if they want to continue to be ahead on the scoreboard at the end of the game. The Tigers are coming back like a steam train, but it'll be interesting to see how they come out of this halftime break.
Yeah, well, let's take a short break and be back with you.
Welcome back to the second half of the second game of round 10 for the HART Sapphire series between the Carina League's
How long
Tigers.
does it take you to take that?
Well, I just had
that.
to remind myself of where we are.
Spit it out.
The Carina League's Tigers versus the Bond University Bull Sharks. So we see the Bull Sharks up by 4.
So many words.
I know, there's lots of words, Dominique. That's why you don't want to lead.
Exactly right.
So the Bull Sharks currently in the lead by 4. However, both teams have won a quarter to date, and we see the Tigers in control with the first centre pass. We talked about going into half-time that the changes that Tracy Bruce had made during the second quarter at a tactical timeout had definitely benefited her team. So it'd be great now to see how they are able to go as the game progresses.
Yeah, her team obviously rewarded her changes, and they were confident in her changes as well, obviously. Being Claire Haig moving to centre and then Katie Walker going to wing attack. And then Cooley coming on at wing defence as well. She's been quite dogged. Oh, I nearly got her an intercept.
I know, you did.
Yeah, you don't notice.
She must have been listening to you.
She must have. Earpiece in her ear. Wing defences are going to hate me saying this, but you don't really notice wing defence unless they do those starry intercepts or anything like that. But they are pivotal in a good team.
Definitely.
And they work really, really hard. They're more of that tagging role, if you're looking at a AFL saying, or wearing down someone. So they need to be a backpack on the opposite player. Really well done to Lily Grubel there. Got her arms over Puer.
Yeah, and Puer just needs to make sure that she's looking at all options and that, she's going to the post as much as she can.
Yep.
Bit like what Lexi Baker
exactly right,
has done there.
On show right there down the other end of the court.
So the Tigers have brought it back to within 2. There's still plenty of netball to be played.
Oh, yeah.
But
definitely a lot of, obviously, minutes left in this game. But Tigers are just creeping back. You can tell the atmosphere or the momentum has definitely switched on court as well as off court. Chrissy Oxenford's doing her hardest. That was a great pass there. Hardest to change that momentum back. A few of her players look a little bit out of breath at the moment, and a little bit starstruck as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think, it is always hard when you've had such a big lead against a team like the Tigers where you may not necessarily expect that. It can become quite deflating to lose that lead, but, still from the scoreboard perspective, the Bull Sharks are still ahead. It might only be by a few now, but it shouldn't really change in terms of their approach and what they were doing before when they were up by 9 or 10.
No, exactly right. It's a game of catch and throw pretty much. Basic netball.
Yeah.
To put it in basic terms. It's very hard on court.
Absolutely. But we see Amy Somerville, ever reliable. Amy Somerville shooting 3 from 3, but that's just for this quarter. But it's great to see Lexi Baker, 2 from 2, so she, is willing to turn and go to the post to take that load off, but also to make the defenders have to make decisions, so they don't, necessarily have to just worry about Somerville. They've got to worry about Baker as well, and I think the Bull Sharks need to do that. Puer needs to do the same thing and make sure that. Or make the Tigers defenders accountable and saying, hey, you need to look after me as well, and not just Berger.
I'm here too, Yeah, and you see that in Suncorp as well. Obviously, Gretel Tippett did it quite well this year. High percentage volume, high volume of shots, and took that pressure off, obviously, Aiken, shooting partner as well. So for a team success, I guess, both shooters have to be firing. Not just one. Yeah, back to 1 point, isn't it?
I know. It's really close, and it's kind of what we would have expected. The scores to be. Still plenty of netball to be had. the experience of Oxenford and Gaffer are here are really helping this. Unlucky.
I would have liked to see a toss-up there.
There's no such thing as toss-ups anymore.
There is. Bring it back.
Possession. The umpire has to make a call. Who had the ball first?
Hashtag bring back the toss-up.
She just does a mental toss-up in her head and
Mental
thinks, which
toss-up.
one should it be? I would pick you.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Tigers working around the circle here. Great shooter pass. Abby Houston coming back on at goalkeeper. Obviously, Sinead Grant's had a great game in goalkeeper against Somerville.
Yeah, Grant has been really solid and she has disrupted. So while she's got some clean ball in some intercepts that we watched earlier on in the game, but what she's done fantastically well is just disrupt and apply pressure, not just to Somerville, but to the whole Tigers attacking line and create unforced errors. So, having a break. Out of court.
Nearly threw my arms up. That was a great roll. And Claire Haig, sit down. Well done.
Claire Haig wanted nothing of that. She is a fantastic, we've seen her line up at wing defence for the majority of this season for the Tigers so far, but she's
a bulldog.
She is a bulldog and she has a great attacking game, but I think her defensive skills there were on show where she read it and came through.
Replays galore.
She'll be on replays to herself. The Haig household in Windsor, I think it is, or Wilston, wherever they live. Lenny will have it on the big screen over dinner tonight.
I can see him in the crowd, most likely. Yeah, that's on the highlight reel.
Lenny, Claire's dad, great supports
Big
her
fan,
and Mary. So, but Lenny, I think, would agree that he probably would have it.
Oh, of course.
And he'd be telling
proud dad.
He'd be telling Claire to why doesn't she do that more often?
Yeah,
actually,
of course. So easy. Baker confident going to the post and nails it.
Yeah, great shot there by Baker. So still one in it. So really, it's it's back and forward. So it'll be the first team that cracks, I suppose, in terms of the possession. And goodness me, how long?
What was that, Simi? Did you just give shade to the umpires?
Not at all. I was just
Simone lives in Bracken Ridge if you want to come and find her.
Come to Bracken Ridge because you won't find me there. Great ball there by Oxenford, I think.
I don't know. I can't see. I'm laughing too much. I've got tears in my eyes.
I know, this game has really got us on the edge of our seats.
Oh, we're excited. Oh, no.
Unlucky there by Amy Somerville.
They'll be looking to get that.
I'm telling you, the ball must be sweaty.
No,
There's been lots of handling mistakes. But anyway, back to the game.
Back to the game.
And this will be a great, a great opportunity for the Bull Sharks just to extend that back out to 3. Just takes the pressure off a little bit.
Yeah.
Needless to say, though, the Tigers have shown that they're not going to go away this afternoon. And a great ball there.
Leah Middleton just giving it to Lily Gribble, telling her to get back to that post, even though I'm going to say it was Middleton's player.
And
Stridham.
And it shows you, that's a great example of when, your team does something well, fantastic fake there by Gaffer. It just helps you swing that momentum, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So Stridham was obviously inspired by that last play and...
almost puts kind of goosebumps on your back, I guess, and you want to do something for your team, so you try your hardest, and Stridham came through with the goods.
Definitely lifted her team with that play.
Yeah. Bull Sharks back out to a 6-goal lead like that. I swear I just blinked my eyes.
We see another tactical timeout being called here by the
smart move
Tigers, it looks like.
Yeah, you would think. You would hope that the Bull Sharks didn't call. Sorry, we're getting interrupted.
I know, Richard's distracting us. But yes, Richard, yes to the question.
We're easily distracted up here. Mine's of a 2-year-old. Particularly you, not me.
I will take
I've
that
got a mature head.
Yes, I will take. Yes, that's incorrect.
Did you say incorrect?
Incorrect. well done to the Bull Sharks. They've been able to jump what was a 1-goal lead out to a 6-goal lead.
I'm just so hyped up. I'm on the edge of my seat.
It actually is, and they are up in the quarter 11-9. Started off, they looked a little bit shaky. I think it was fair to say in the beginning of this quarter they'd, you could tell that the pressure of allowing the Tigers to come back from that dominant lead that they had may have been affecting them. But to their credit, in the last probably 2 minutes, they've been able to assume control of this game again in a positive way. The Tigers were throwing everything at them.
Yeah, a little bit more serious, obviously, on the face of Tigers.
Yeah, not as happy as the last
Not
time.
as happy, definitely not as happy. They would be kicking themselves from going from a 1 point, difference to a 6 point, 6.
How'd your maths? Did you go to school?
No, I went to Sandgate High. Shout out. So they would be kicking themselves. Really just let the pressure, the foot off the pressure, I guess. So looking to come back from this tactical timeout and really giving it their all and getting back in this game. And that's a great pass by Baker. And Somerville finishes it off. She likes that, gives herself a bit of a clap.
Yeah, definitely. They've done a great job. The Tigers in that last play just to be patient with the ball and not to force and to allow the options to unfold, which is what they did, and were able to find Somerville there under the post.
3 seconds.
Wow, that was
no
quick.
goal.
That was quick compared to the last one. That was
very quick.
But anyway, play goes on, and the Tigers are back in position.
Simmy, you are throwing shade left, right, and centre, mate. You need a shush, or we'll get someone up here clipping your ears. I'm not with her. I support the people in white, the ladies in white. Throw my 100% behind them.
Oh, great feed there to Walker, and really smart play there by Baker. She wasn't able to control it, but she
was on a tightrope.
Well done, Harlem Globetrotters.
Here we go. Home of the basketball now, so...
Yep, the Harlem Globetrotters were here earlier in the year when the stadium first opened.
Yep, and the Boomers and the USA obviously playing down in Melbourne.
And the Boomers got up for the first time.
They did, up the Boomers. Obviously, a few people not happy with their seats, but...
Who cares?
Who cares?
Well, come and watch the netball.
Yeah, come and watch the netball. We got heaps of
Berger.
free
Overcooked
space.
That one. Yeah, uncharacteristic miss there for Berger. Overcooked it. We see Schuster on at wing defence, replacing Cooley.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in wing defence much this season. So interested to see how she goes.
Thought Cooley was doing a good job at
fresh
disrupting.
legs.
But hey, Tracy Bruce, we can't question the her changes to date. She's made some cracking
Somerville
changes.
is loving her shots.
She is on. Yeah, she has the best.
She gave a tiger roar just then.
It was like
Did you? Sorry to everyone. It's Sunday afternoon. We're going a little bit crazy here.
So the Tigers have been able to claw this lead back.
You were on fire, Simmy.
And Amy Somerville, thumbs up to the crowd. She likes that one.
Sim just had to kind of do that action, so I would laugh at her joke. No one understood it. Bit slow.
So we see the ball. Brought right down into the goal circle. Not sure what for, but Berger doesn't care. She scores under the post. It doesn't miss this time.
So I think it was a contact.
So back to 2. So, we talked about the fact that the Tigers let it blow out, and but they've showed, not just now, but on previous occasions during this game, that they will come back. So you can't give them a sniff because they'll take it all.
Now we've got the camera crew zooming in on Amy Somerville for the Tiger roar.
We've got everyone on board.
You won't be even able to go to the toilet really because it's only 1 goal in it. You'll miss something.
I know.
Well
great control there by Berger.
Those fingertip controls. She's been doing a lot of fingertip strength. And she's not giving it too much away to the camera. So we'll have to tell people that we're up here and to give us a little bit of a celebration.
Yeah,
I reckon bring that into netball.
We need post-goal celebration.
Oh, yeah. I'm all for that.
Oh, hard luck there by the Bull Sharks. They scrapped and
Whoever
scrapped and
was it?
scrapped. I was like, what are they?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, well done.
Oh, Houston.
Oh, unlucky there. That was
What are you going to keep on?
that was a great contest to the ball.
That was hard luck. I'm going to say it. I'll be straightforward. I'll say it. Well done to Abby Houston there.
So we're back to 1 with just over 1 minute 40 to go. Or the Tigers have actually been able to claw back the lead in this quarter, and they are ahead by 3 at the moment. So even though they're not ahead on the scoreboard, even though it is only 1,
bonus points going to be essential.
Bonus points are on offer.
Yep. And with obviously Bond University at the moment 3 points ahead of the Tigers in the ladder. Obviously, if Tigers can get another 2 bonus points, it'll make it it'll make it interesting to see how the ladder ends up.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, great try there by Stridham. She's read them all day, and she's unlucky that she's not been able to get any of them. But it's the pressure that is applied, though, even if she doesn't get a touch, which is really important. Oh, fantastic shot there by Amy Somerville.
That's almost a
Does
3.
the tiger claw again.
Yep. I did a tiger claw up here. Oh.
Well, Leah Middleton not happy with that call.
No.
Slaps her hands. But it just shows, I think, what this game means to all of the players. Fantastic screen there and wonderful vision by... Who threw that?
I don't know.
One at the centre court.
Once again, we're getting distracted by things.
So with 18 seconds to go, the Tigers are in possession with only 2 goals in it, so they'd like to score going into this break. And whoever will they give it to? But Amy Somerville.
She needs to do a shotgun or something like that. Pulls the trigger. I want a trigger move.
I want a trigger. So the Tigers
I want a trigger.
take that quarter again.
Again,
18 to 15. Centre pass conversions were much more equal in that quarter, which is, I suppose, a reflection of the close scores. It was the shooting percentages, so 100% by the Tigers in that quarter, 94 for the Bull Sharks. But the difference, I think, between, I suppose, in that quarter was that both of the Tiger shooters went to the post. Only Sigerberger was the shot in that quarter. So again, it's just those little things that can definitely influence the result. But in saying that, the Sharks are up by 1 still.
It's going to be an exciting game. So if you can get down to the State Netball Corner, can see this obviously tightly contested game between the Carina League's Tigers and the Bond University Bull Sharks. If you can't make it down here, obviously stay tuned and we'll be with you right after the break.
welcome back to the last quarter of this game between the Carina Leagues Club Tigers and the Bond University Sharks. There's only one goal in it, Dommy.
My heart is racing. I'm getting palpitations. I need an ambulance. Do you know an ambulance?
Call yourself.
I call myself. Ring, ring.
The significance of this game, Dommy, is that?
Well, really, if the Tigers can claw their way over the Bond University Bull Sharks, it's going to make it interesting with the ladder. Obviously, the Tigers will probably leapfrog the Bull Sharks in the ladder position and take out that fourth position, I guess. Yeah. And really, in this competition, top four goes through to the finals, and we're just over halfway of the competition, so every, obviously, shot like that does count, and every bonus point really does count as well. So the Tigers coming away with 4 extra bonus points so far in this game. Bond just 2 at the moment. So,
yeah.
Oh, offensive contact again to Siggy Berger. Not happy about it.
No, that was an interesting call. I don't think there was anything in that. But anyway.
You're not an umpire.
I'm not an umpire. But
you don't have your whistle.
I am allowed an opinion.
No. No, you're not.
So that is a big play, and the Tigers really need to convert this because then the momentum from a scoreboard point of view swings back in their favour.
Yeah, and that'll be in the mind of the Bull Sharks thinking this. After 50 passes, the Tigers get it finally to post, and well done, Baker.
Great rebound there.
Is that a replay? Oh, Baker, unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky there, but
as soon as she did it, she knew.
Just came off the hand really not well at all.
Yeah.
And she knew it as soon as it left her hand, didn't she? She knew that it wasn't, it had come off awkwardly.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Bull Sharks are back in possession and have an opportunity now. Well done. Great pass there by Leah Pruitt to find Berger under the post. So, I mean, if the Bull Sharks are able to, take this game, then it cements their position in the top 4.
Yeah.
And I think whilst this game is absolutely important in terms of, ladder positioning, we're not sure, or I'm certainly not sure, but the teams would be aware of who they have else coming up in front of their chances. So they obviously want this game because both teams want this game for lots of reasons, but particularly from a ladder perspective.
Yeah, and obviously with the bonus point, it just makes every game. I guess you've got to go into the game wanting to win, but you're also wanting to win every single quarter because those extra couple of points really helps your position on the ladder and will set a few teams. Well done, Stratum.
She's read them all day, hasn't she?
Superwoman out. Touch that ball. Just back into, obviously, a throw into the Tigers. But, so it's going to set a couple of teams apart from making the finals or not making the finals, really.
Yeah, definitely. From my perspective, I think the bonus points reward those teams that are consistent throughout a game. And so I think that's an important component. The Bull Sharks started the game. Oh, really strong contest there for the ball. In Chrissy Oxensford's defence, Claire Haig probably weighs about 2 kilograms, so probably not hard to fling her around.
Easy to fling her around.
But again, I think with,
Claire Haig would have just enjoyed the ride.
She would have loved it. She would have asked for another go.
Well, Claire just came away with the ball. So she did well there. Fortunately, a turnover to the Tigers. We might have missed that just on seeing the replay.
Exactly what that was for. We're too busy watching the replay.
Let's say a step. Give it up to Katie Walker.
Not happy with the call.
I'll give her an Oscar. How about that?
For a sapphire.
A sapphire. Well done, yeah. She's already got that sapphire, though.
Well, she doesn't have it, but it's named after her.
No, she doesn't,
The Katie Walker Sapphire, which will be awarded to the most valuable player of the HART Sapphire series this year.
Yeah. And we get a say in that, which is interesting. Race. I don't know why they... Well done. This is getting so excited. I can't sit down.
Tips galore there by each team. They're throwing everything at it.
I do have runners on, so I might get out there.
Get back on the court, Tommy.
It's making me itchy. Well done. Schuster, that is class act from you. Hopefully she watches that. That's on her highlight reel. Yep.
It might even make Lenny's reel.
It will, definitely. Lenny would love that. We'll try and spot him in the crowd. Oh, here we go. The Tigers fans are up and about, getting their Tiger claws out.
It was. That was a lot. That was definitely a hell ball.
Definitely?
Definitely.
Good call by the umpire then?
Yeah, it's been all day by the umpire.
All day, ref. Katie Walker will let's take her time, settle her team down after that big turnover.
Yes, definitely. So they keep working the ball around.
Chrissy
Oxford.
She nearly
pleased to the umpire, but unfortunately caught offside on that one. Great to see Shanae Grant back on the court, and Ava Black returns to the court this time at wing defence. So.
Yeah, that's a big ask from her on, obviously, Katie Walker. Katie Walker's loving it. Big slap of the hands. She's enjoying this contest.
Yeah, look, the Tigers have done a wonderful job to claw back, but there's still 9 minutes to go, so the game is still long. And I was just about to say, every time the Tigers have actually clawed back, the Bull Sharks have been able to turn it back over again. So
pressure
Bull Sharks
release.
Really need to let the ball go and get it down to their
the venture up and about.
Venture up.
Look at Gomez. She's pleading for her team. There she goes. She's about to get up. She's about to sit down. Oh, that's a replay. Oh, ref.
Even the commentators are getting involved in the emotion and the high stakes that are involved today. Chrissy Oxenford just ties a shoelace up and then gets back up to receive the ball and feed it to Berger under post.
Yeah.
Great goal there, and the Tigers will be ruining every time they've had an opportunity to take that lead. The Bull Sharks have been able to win the ball back.
Be interested to see how both teams play into this. Obvious.
So unlucky
the
or lucky.
Well,
depending on how you look at it.
The post is on Siggy Berger's side there, as well as obviously Leah Puer.
Leah Puer really had no right to let that ball go, but the post decided to help her out on that occasion, and she should be
give her a break.
herself for that. But they're those little moments that are going to make the difference in this game.
It'll either fall for you or won't, unfortunately.
No, and
tough knock there.
Yeah, really strong contest there by Stridham.
Chrissy Oxenford just taking another time out just to tie her shoe up a little bit better.
Her, opportunity to have a break.
She's been running the centre the whole game.
Her work rate has been phenomenal.
Yeah, shout out to obviously the Ball girls. I believe they're from, it looks like Metro. That's the colours of Metro. Lexi Baker not liking that decision by the umpire,
and Grant again. The disrupting queen really, didn't win the ball cleanly, but did enough to show the umpire that...
I am loving Gomez on the bench. Look at her.
Gomez.
If we can zoom in on her just for a moment. Take away from the game. They just had to stay there.
Yeah, just
nice and
bit
tall.
Of undiscipline.
Yeah.
Inexperience, I think, from Gribble.
Definitely.
She's only a baby, really, in the whole scheme of things. But it's going to... We want our young athletes on court to be experiencing these high-pressure moments because we know that when, they're on another court or another stage, i.e. the national court, or it's only going to help them. So it's great to see, all of the players really, but particularly those players on the bench.
Schuster.
Goodness me, Schuster did a great job.
She's doing great at wing defence.
She is doing a great job. And she's up against, a wonderful competitor in Chrissy Oxenford, who is experienced and smart and is not going to give her an inch. And she's really asking big questions of her.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how Bull Sharks play this. Obviously, they're up to a 4-goal lead. So really, if they're a little bit smart and cheeky, I guess they could play around with it a little bit and just take the time away from the game. Obviously, we do have 6 minutes to go. It is a long time to play around with the ball.
Are you suggesting that they play around for
6 minutes? Yeah. Is that a replay?
No, and out of court.
Another
unlucky there.
Yeah. Claire Haig
Claire Haig is like the
Jack Rabbit.
She is. She's
in everything, up and down the court, trying to hand out everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Ava
Black there.
A little bit too casual there. Just went up with one hand. Needs to go up with two.
On two against Katie Walker, who's not going to give her an inch.
Oh, Schuster, nearly there.
Great cut there, swooping cut there by Leah Poyer. I'd like to see her go to the post, and she does. Well done. Great try. I thought when Berger's hand went out there, she was having a side look to throw off, but she didn't.
Good confidence.
Good confidence and a big shot in terms of the every goal obviously counts, but the more that she can take those shots, the more that it makes Middleton and Gribble have to think about looking after both of them and not just Berger.
Big call, umpire, big call. Here we go.
Yeah, really big call there. But anyway, the Tigers are back in possession.
Even Cheryl Burns is up and about. She can't sit down either. It's hard here.
Yeah, less than 5 minutes to go and 5 minutes. Still plenty of time, but the more that I thought that was a step, but who am I to ask? The more that each team were able to apply scoreboard pressure on each other, that really brings each into the fold. So we see a tactical timeout there called,
I think, to the Bull Sharks. I think Chrissy Oxenford was hanging around the umpire like a bad smell, so I think she walked over to the umpire and called the tactical timeout, which is very smart from her because the team is leading by 4 with 4.5 to go. So pretty much just take a nice deep breath. It's exciting netball, but they all need to take a nice deep breath, and Tigers just need pretty much just one turnover, maybe two. Let's say two.
Yeah, look, what is it? It's there's 4 in it, so 2 definitely. I thought it was 5.
Count it out. Use your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it's smart on the Bull Sharks' point of view to call it, because Berger's been called for 2 offensive penalties and really can't afford that. I mean, certainly at any time in the game, but at this time or at this moment in terms of the fact that it is so close. So I think it was smart from Oxenford to call it and allow Cheryl Burns to provide some advice to Berger about what she might be being called for, but also opportunity for the Bull Sharks to regroup. They are actually in control of the game and of the scoreboard, so they just need to keep doing what they've been doing so very well.
Their faces don't look like they're in control, but obviously a calm head and Oxenford being the captain will set her team up, and really they just need to play control and patient, not do anything fancy. They're in the lead obviously, so working quite hard, and obviously, just nice and control and nice and patient.
Yeah, look, definitely. I mean, they certainly don't want to play safe.
No.
But like you said, they've been patient and control all game, so that shouldn't change for them, regardless of the situation or the pressure.
And for the other team, Tigers, who do you think's going to come through with the big play? Call it simming.
Look, I think Claire Haig is going to, she's the cookie monster at the moment in terms of, that was a step.
Oh.
That was a step.
We've got our umpire skills on here, umpire eyes.
Yeah.
You said it, I did the action. We're working together. So Claire Haig, you reckon?
Claire Haig or, I was going to say one of the defenders, either Gribble or Middleton.
All right.
But I think too, Berger's had 3, penalties. She's turned the ball over 3 times in a row.
Yep.
But she's done such a fabulous job throughout the whole game. So it'll be her ability now to just regroup from that. Those things are over. She needs to just worry about the minutes ahead.
Yeah, so obviously the Bull Sharks leading by 2, but actually leading this quarter by 1. So
there's nothing in it, really.
No, there's nothing in it. I can't see any difference, really.
It's going to go down to the wire, which is great from Lexi Baker.
Just needs to go to the post.
Yeah, back herself.
I know she's... Here we go. Confidence. That's the one. Shotgun. Pull the shotgun out.
Yeah.
She looks up at the board. She knows that was a crucial moment, and she came to the table. Oh, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, Ava Black getting a little bit overexcited on that play and just letting the ball go long when perhaps she just needed to do the work and keep it short.
There's some change. Oh,
but
that's okay.
Hey, to her credit, she just helped turn that ball over by applying pressure to the very experienced Katie Walker there.
They just need to turn it over again. Oh, and here we go. What's the call going to be? Oh, Katie Walker not happy, but gets out of play like a champion she is.
Yeah, look, I think you can hear the crowds come into it. So it's about the team now just absorbing that pressure and not getting brought into, including the commentators, Dominique, not being brought into the emotion that's happening off court.
I'm a child, Sim. I get distracted easily, and I get nervous.
That about you. And
Lily Gribble! You said it. You called it, Sim.
And Leah Pure just needed to turn and shoot the ball.
This is great. I love this style of netball.
I can tell. You're almost clawing your way down the bloody stairs.
You with that claw
it's great.
joke. Great. Yeah. Obviously, everyone here. We've drawn a crowd, really. People have just come in off the street, I think.
I think it's more the games that are finished.
No. Don't say that. Oh, here we go. Big shot. And does it. Loves it. Gives herself
scores
some
even.
claps.
It's the Tigers centre pass, and there's less than a minute to go.
Are you nervous, Sim? I'm nervous.
It'll be interesting to see what the Tigers do here, because if they score, there's still time for the Bull Sharks to score again.
It is. What do? Do you play around with it?
I wouldn't.
See? Oh, okay. All right.
I wouldn't in this, although the way that the clock's going, they won't need to play around with it.
I would play around with it. That's... So, obviously...
Only because the Tigers have, when they have chosen to play around with it, they've lost possession. So
Katie Walker's doing it. Oh, Stridum's have. Oh,
yeah, that's why you don't play around with it. They've done that all game.
I'm super nervous. I can't even sit down. Here we go. 11 seconds. 10, 9, 8.
She's got to
Here
score.
we go.
Why? She's got to score.
She's got to
score. She's got to score.
Oh, no!
It's a drawn game. Berger should have taken that goal.
You
know what? Probably.
I think my heart. Let's check my heart rate. 120.
I know, let's check my leg that you've squeezed for the last quarter, and the fact that I have bruises in my knees. Well done to both teams there. A 54-all draw. The Tigers taking that quarter by 1 goal.
That's going to make it interesting.
It's going to make the ladder very interesting.
Can we see an updated ladder?
Okay. I think
Can we see an updated ladder?
The stats are also on the edge of their seats, Tommy, and probably haven't gotten to that point.
I want everything right now. I'm super excited. But yeah, congratulations to both teams. Obviously, that was the best game. I'm gonna call it best game of the season so far, Sim.
Yeah, look, definitely. In terms of the quality and intensity that was shown, Claire Haig really unhappy with herself, the poor thing. For that turnover, but it wasn't actually necessary. You know, it wasn't
really her. It was a pass, I guess.
So anyway, I think in some ways probably justified in terms of the game. It did seesaw, and a draw from the netball gods is probably not a bad thing, because it's hard to kind of say which team really did deserve the win.
Yeah,
the Bull Sharks came out of the blocks really hard and were able to absorb the pressure every time the Tigers did come back at them. The Tigers, on the other hand, did a great job in just not going away.
No, being that annoying team, I guess.
Yeah, a bit like my commentator.
Say that a little bit louder, I'll squeeze you.
No, here we go. So this is the results. I did not believe...
I don't think the Tigers played the Thunder, but that's okay.
So I think this is the wrong... yes, they're gone again.
We'll just keep on talking until something pops up on our screen.
They were just trying to keep us on our toes.
Yeah. That's all right. I think we put them under the bus anyway. So
definitely. It's interesting to see the body language between both teams. Almost disappointed, even though they both didn't lose, but they both didn't win.
No, exactly right. Almost you want to lose by 10 instead of drawing sometimes. I think it's a draw is a tough pill to swallow some days.
Definitely.
So we take a look at some of the stats from the game. Obviously, finishing 54 points all. We look at the shooting stats for both teams. Really quite a high percentage for both teams. The Tigers sitting at 87% and the Bond University Bull Sharks finishing up at 89%. Siggy Berger obviously taking the majority of the shots, 50 from 52. So fantastic. That is phenomenal. 96% is something crazy. Obviously, not to be outdone by her counterpart in Amy Somerville, 45 from 49 at 92%. And both goal attacks a little bit low with their percentage, but obviously Lexi Baker taking 9 shots from 13 attempts at 69%, and Leah Puer just 4 from 9, so at 44%. So she'll be obviously kicking herself a little bit, but she doesn't need to, I guess, think about it too much because she'll get on with the job next week.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think both goal attacks did a mountain of work out the front and helped set and create opportunities for their goal shooters this afternoon. Look, a great game, really. Like, I think, it was fantastic to watch. It was fantastic to call.
I need a nap. I'm tired.
And I think it just keeps the ladder situation interesting because it means both teams now haven't really probably come away with a definitive answer like they would have hoped in terms of a win-loss. A draw just keeps...
we could probably figure out this... So if Bond University was up by 3 points...
I'm not going to do this.
The Tigers won 3 quarters, so that's 6 points. Bond won 1 quarter, that's 2 points.
And there was a draw, so 5.
And what do you reckon, Sim? Who's on top?
I reckon it's still all open.
All right, we'll take a break and we'll be back with you for the final game, I guess. Brisbane North Cougars versus the USC Thunder here at the State Netball Centre at 5:10. Don't miss out. See you there.